right near Chicago, and it was summertime, and they actually were fighting at a strip club. It was kind of cool. I had a collegiate wrestling background. So as soon as we got there, me and my friends, growing up, childhood friends, we paid our admission to get in. We bought our tickets, and over the loudspeaker we hear, we need an exhibition fighter for a lightweight fight. And so right away I sat down my beer and I said, that's me, you know what I mean? And I talked to my dad into it, talked to my brother into it, and I went in there, and it was like it was like a WWF wrestling match. I got kicked in the face, kind of like Diego Sanchez kicked me in the face, because it was in a boxing ring, you know, so it actually felt like a WWE, WWF match. And I took the guy down, and then he swept me, and this guy already had 8 fights. I never fought before, so then he choked me out. You know, I went to my stomach like in wrestling, and he choked me, and I just got that rush from college wrestling. I got that competitive edge back that, you know, I got in high school football and things like that. So I actually fought before I started training, and then I ran with it. I loved just that. I wanted that competitive edge back, so I just kind of you know, started training 5-6 days a week, and here I am now. Good question.
Moving on from there, so basically you got that rush, you got addicted to the feeling. Your first fight, how did you feel, and how did that go, the first fight you ever had, cage?
Let's see, so that was, and after that, you know, I took some time off or whatever, and then my brother, you know, he kind of called me again in the morning. He called me like 8 a.m. and he was going to fight that night. He's like, do you want to fight tonight? So that was, it was quite a while later. And I went out there this time, and I took the guy down and I choked him. And then I really dedicated myself, learning the grappling, learning the wrestling aspect of it, learning the jiu-jitsu, the striking and things like that. So one of my most memorable, Brian Ebersol over here. Let's give this guy a round of applause. Holy crap. I lived with this guy for a while in California. Another great story. All right, so me and my brother and a friend of ours, Tommy Lee, one of our teammates, went down to this show, MMA Mexico. It was a 2-day tournament, and that's when I first saw John Fitch. He was one of my heroes. I love watching John Fitch. And a great friend of mine, Brian Ebersol, man. Got to see him go out there and fight a buddy of his. Here's how crazy it was. We were in Juarez, Mexico. It was so wild. We were in a big circle cage. It wasn't an octagon, and the fans were so gnarly and wild. They were throwing in like cans of Pringles while we were fighting, like batteries. My brother was fighting a local guy, this Jorge Ortiz, very nice guy. He was getting hit by batteries. You know, people were throwing him packs of gum. My brother got his clothes stolen while he was fighting. You know, so it was very memorable in my mind. I got to meet Tito Ortiz for the first time. I got to meet Rico Rodriguez, the former UFC champ. It was just one of those things. Yeah, like I said, I got to you know, become friends with Brian Ebersol, and you remember little things like that along your path, along your career that stick out in your mind. You know, you meet great people along the way. I won. That was the only knockout to this day. That's the only knockout I have in my career. Yeah, I kneed a guy in the face, I think, on accident and won. So that was kind of cool, but by accident, yes. But yeah, let's get another quick round of applause for Brian Ebersol, man. He did great the other night. I'm sure you guys saw it.
Clay, another question that I'd like to ask you: the carpenter, a real carpenter or nickname or?
Yeah, people ask where I get the carpenter nickname from. I wouldn't say I was a very good carpenter. I like to lay wood every once in a while. Yeah, to this day I'm still sponsored or still in the Chicago Carpenters Union. They very big supporters, and you know we support them very much. I still pay my dues and things like that. So I started framing. I started working for a union carpentry company out of Chicago, and the nickname kind of stuck ever since. My buddies just said, "Hey, you should call yourself the Carpenter," you know. And kind of a goofy name. More started as a joke, but it's stuck, and the long hair and the whole beard sometimes. So Jesus was a carpenter too.
Man, you got a lot of energy when you fight. You know, like I guess one of the boys, I think when I first saw you fighting, they go, "Hey, there's that guy that energized the battery fighting again." You know, like a pocket dynamo. It's really hard to watch a boring fight by Clay. You know, like you're not known for being a boring fighter. At the end of the day, all that energy, does it start at the dressing room? Does it start from your training? How do you draw on all that energy in the fight?
That's a great question. I think the majority of my energy I really get from the crowd. I get from the fans. I get from my family, my little nieces and nephews. You know, I tell you what, a lot of you guys probably have kids. You got to have a lot of energy to put, to watch it over your children all day, So, I mean, I get a lot of energy, from my training partners, looking up to, other fighters, looking up to, coaches of mine. There's not enough time to get tired in a fight, I could see, I look up to basketball players, soccer, football players, soccer players, hockey players. Those guys are in great shape, MMA fighters are good athletes, but I tell you what, those guys can go for days. They're playing an hour-long game, a 2-hour-long game. We're in there anywhere for 30 seconds, maybe to 15 minutes. I don't necessarily see enough time to get tired. And
well, what I'm saying is, yeah, the average UFC fighters, they go for 30 or 15 minutes. You are working at like 4 times that rate through the fight. Your work rate, right up to you can't stand still, man. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I've always, a motto of mine is never be satisfied. I want to go out there and I want to put on a good show for you guys. I want to put on a good show for the fans. I want you guys to get your money's worth, because that's what it's all about. There's these guys, there's some fighters that are known for not the most exciting kind of lay-on guys, circle around the cage. I'm in there to go to war, The whole handshaking before I'll hug you and shake your hand, I'll buy you a beer after the fight. When we're in there, there's no friends. I respect you, but I'm out there to win. I'm not out there to hurt anybody. I'm out there to get my hand raised, and that's that. But yeah, the energy, it comes from within, man. There's nothing. I don't care how many kettlebell swings I do. I don't care how many protein drinks I take. It's all here, and it's all here, and that's, you can't put a price on that.